I feel like I know exactly where you're going to go with this, but let's just is there any discussion to be had around the first overall pick in your mind?
I mean, I think it's immediately, despite the fact that he played very little hockey this year, Matthew Schaefer, it's perfect fit for them. Like, especially on that blue, like their prospect, the blue line, like is about as like that's their biggest need more than pretty much any other team in the league. Like you give him, he's got the potential to be a number one for however many years. You know, you've already got Dobson there and a couple other guys that profiles like defensive D-men. But just as far as like anyone with a high ceiling that they have in their pool already, like Schaefer blows them all out of the water. And then it's like, I think maybe Scott Wheeler mentioned it too. It's like, we have to at least acknowledge, like, you know, Hagen's Long Island boy loves the Islanders, whatever. But at the same time, like,
do we know what pajamas Matthew Schaefer wore as a child?
Cannot confirm or deny he had Islanders pajamas, so not sure.
Pierre McGuire is definitely the one who would have that answer.
He would know, yeah.
It's like peeking in.
Oh, hate that. Yeah, I think Matthew Schaefer was going to be the pick right away.
Oh, all right, so you're saying it's Schaefer for sure. All right. Moving on then to pick number 2, San Jose Sharks, who, God, they wanted Schaefer so goddamn bad. That would have fit so perfectly with their build. He's gone. What do the San Jose Sharks do at number 2?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think Misa's the pick here. God, they would really love it if Schaefer was still on the board there, but unlikely. But you add Misa to the mix, gives you flexibility. He can play center or wing. He can probably step in the league pretty soon, either next year or the year after, and be like a pretty solid impact player as is, just to continue on with their rebuild and the young players that they have coming through the system. So it gives you flexibility. He's got ridiculously high upside. Like, he was a beast this year. So for me, I think Misa's off the board there at 2. And it's really, really nice fit. Again, the flexibility of the fact that you can play with center or wing gives you ridiculous two-way value, plus the offensive upside, the ridiculously high ceiling. There's a terrifying like crop of young forwards coming up.
I think the first 2 picks, most people, at least for the time being, until we get through the combine and get closer to the draft, I think everyone's going to say it's Schaefer then Misa. Where it gets interesting here is the 3rd pick for Chicago. Who are they going with?
Yeah, this is where it gets pretty interesting. I think they are going to want to go. They probably are leaning center here. You could see them taking one of like. I don't think they would, if they go the center out, I think they look at like what they have right now. They probably avoid the Hagens, another like undersized light centerman maybe, but you know, you look at guys like Anton Frondell, Caleb Desnoyers, I think probably intrigued them. It's like a different mix. I just have a funny feeling it ends up being a guy like Frondell. Again, another guy that potentially can play center or wing. If he does fit as a center, you have the opportunity to like push out Bedard to the wing and give him like less of these like crazy minutes where you need him to do literally everything. They probably are praying that like Misa slips, because that gives you like that ultimate flexibility with Bedard too, and like you're pretty confident that Misa can be a center. But Desnoyers, Frondell are probably the 2 that they're looking at. Two-way value, super high upside. So there you go. So I didn't pick one.
Did you pick Frondell?
I think yeah.
Nice. All right, so number 4 then, the fun winner, Utah. Who do you go with there, and how do you kind of decipher what they need?
I think you look at like some of the players that they've got that have made their way to the NHL already. They've got a couple like 5'10", 5'11" skilled forwards. So do they ultimately want to go size? If they go the center route, this is where I would see Desnoyers going. If they're okay with like another big scoring winger, then maybe it's Porter Martone. Let's see them go either way. Given the profile and the types of players they brought in, like just like the super physical side of the game, like the big guys that compete super hard, I'd say Porter Martone's the pick for them here. No, look at the wave.
He was in my lap for all of that. I hit mute right after I teed it up for you, and he came in and he knows who you are. Like he saw you and he said hi like 7 times, but obviously you couldn't hear.
That's my boy.
Oh man. But yeah, I'm actually like, I love the idea of Porter Martone ending up there. Very fun.
Mm-hmm.
So now number 5, the team that everyone knew would be a lottery team, the Nashville Predators, the team who needs nothing, but needs everything. What are they going to do here at 5?
I think at this point, this is where James Hagens might end up. Like they've gone the route of like they prioritize big competitiveness with their high picks recently. They haven't drafted like in recent years that super skilled forward up front. So I wonder if Hagens is like an interesting selection there. Like he just makes sense to me. Got probably higher upside than a guy like Desnoyers, so they can just add that to their like the premium skilled forward with like the ridiculously high upside. So I think I end up with Hagens here. Because I mean they in the past few years they've got like Zach LaRue, Jaeger Shurin, and they've drafted a couple other like just tall guys that like profile to be pretty solid NHLers long term, but more of that abrasive competitiveness. So like for me, I'll say fuck it, throw Hagens in there. Join his buddy Teddy Stiga.
Who do I have to hate for the next decade potentially? It's going to end up in Philadelphia and become a scumbag.
Let's see, what did I do here? It said Schaefer, Misa, Frondell. Who did I have? Oh god, I literally had it listed. Now it's gone. I think I said Martone at 4, Hagens at 5. At 6.
I feel like I already know who you're saving for Boston at this point.
Probably Desnoyers here at 6.
Oh, that's what I thought you were going to say for Boston. All right.
If he's gone, you wonder about a guy like Brady Martin from the Sioux. Just a big, insanely competitive, physical prick to play against with some offensive upside that's just like going to be a good NHLer. But if Desnoyers is sitting there, he's that responsible pick. Again, he gives you that really solid 2-way value with some offensive upside. And he's just had a ridiculous season, really good playoffs. So if Desnoyers is sitting there, makes sense.
How do you think he projects in general? Like he's a guy that I'm just like very fascinated because everyone, at least like outside of you, right? Because I know how you feel about a lot of these guys, but everyone's like, oh, he's like such a good 2-way center. And to me, it's like, oh, so you mean he kind of tries on defense in the queue? Like, what have you seen that tells you like, yes, this guy, like what he's doing in the queue absolutely translates?
Oh, well, I mean, just like the defensive habits, his positioning, how hard he works. Like he's a very smart player, like super high intelligence. His like he doesn't have any real like glaring weaknesses. It's like the question is going to be the upside. Like how much of this offense is going to translate? Like how like literally how much of it? Because he's got no doubt skill. He's made a couple of ridiculous plays in the playoffs. And again, like he's first PK guy, first PP guy, like affects the game every time he jumps over the boards. Again, it's just like always tough to evaluate the Q, but I think he's a super high IQ player, plays the right way, super smart kid. So I think ultimately he translates probably like 2-3C. I think you decent scoring 2C gives you that 2A value for sure.
Nice. All right, then. Who do the Boston Bruins take now that everyone you wanted is off the table?
Probably Jake O'Brien, another center, Brantford Bulldogs, super smart, legit playmaker, high upside. He's got skill, division, really good on the power play. I mean, they're just at this point going to take a swing on some well, I think their target is center. Fingers crossed. And a guy like Jake O'Brien, like he's popped offensively this year. And he can do it at even strength too. So I think they take a swing at Jake O'Brien. It's a really fun player to watch. They need to build down the middle. And I just wonder if McQueen gives them just the fact that he's barely played any hockey this year. I wonder if that makes him a little bit nervous.
It didn't hurt Schaefer.
Yeah, no, I know. But Schaefer's head is like a different level. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. All right. Boston Bruins get Jake O'Brien. Who do the Seattle Kraken go with at number 8?
I kind of I want to save that for Buffalo. I'll have them take the swing at McQueen. Big competitive two-way center with some offensive legit offensive upside. I don't see them taking a defenseman. I don't think.
It's just so on brand that you're gonna say McQueen 8 because it's literally every time we've done a mock or seen other people's mocks, he's always at 8.
Have I? Is he really?
Yeah, always.
Oh, well, there you go. So I'm staying on Brandon. Again, it sucks that he played such little hockey, like because those first however many games, 8, 9, 10 games that he played before he had that like huge injury, he was, I mean, ridiculously good for the Brandon Wheat Kings. But if he stays healthy and he's on his game, he's this big two-way guy, super competitive, hits hard. I mean, like he came back from missing all the time. First game back, it's a game misconduct. So he is a super competitive guy. I think that's probably a guy that Seattle's going to target here. So yeah, I'll go Roger McLean.
Which small skilled player do the Buffalo Sabres take at 9?
Not doing that. I'm going to go against the mold here. I'm taking another one of my favorites from this draft, except he is 6'5", insanely skilled, but he's huge. And he's very fun to watch. A human highlight reel. Lyndon Lakovic out of Moose Jaw. He is so much fucking fun to watch. I love this player. Like, again, I talked about it early in the year. Like, his skating has taken a whole step forward. Just like he looked like a guy that was stuck in mud a lot over the last few years. This year he's just flying up and down the ice. He's so good in transition, like super creative with the puck. When option A isn't there, he can change course. I mean, he's just like, he's so fun. He's one of my favorite players this draft. His highlight tape is ridiculously funny. It's just like sports that are top 10 mode every time he touches the puck. Score from distance, score from in tight. Like, I think his ceiling is insanely high. So Buffalo finally decides not to go for like a 5-10 fun player.
Now, producer Mateo weighed in on the side. What do you think about them taking Mertka here?
That's another solid option. 6'5" right shot D-man, super physical. He is nasty. He's really good. He's probably going to be my second or third D-man off the board. He's not going to be gone too far after this. Just given how solid he is in his size and the fact that he's a right shot, he's going early.
Love those right shots. Yeah, my kid's for sure not going to be allowed to hold a stick left-handed. Number 10, which who would have ever thought that the Anaheim Ducks would draft a double-digit pick? What does Anaheim do here? What their whole pool and their current roster and everything is beyond fascinating to me. What do you think the right move is here?
Radamerka. So you look at their decor, they've got a little bit of everything. And they took a guy like Stolberg last year, another big right shot D that's super physical. Merca has the skating at 6'5". That's he's an absolute unicorn as far as his defensive game, how well he skates at his size, how young he is. If they hadn't taken Sedecki last year, maybe Eklund's the pick here. But knowing Verbeek, seeing a right shot D that's 6'5" that skates that well, given their pool of defensemen that they have, a bunch of undersized, super skilled guys plus one or two that are bigger. Merca, I'm sure, is going to be super intriguing for them. Plus, it's a defenseman, so there's going to be a lot that go earlier than even we would expect. So, I think Merca might be the pick here.
Are you going to do it for me?
I'm going to do it for you.
Oh, baby. Number 11. And credit to Mateo as well. Very timely comment in our private chat saying Eklund would be funny after the whole Benson thing.
I thought about just twisting the knife.
Just tell me so many fun things about Eklund. And by the way, we're gonna have Jesse Marshall on here at some point. He's already said he's more than happy to come on and talk draft stuff with us. But he has been aggressively banging the drum for Victor Eklund for the past couple months for Pittsburgh. Why should I love him more than I already do?
He first of all, he's some repeats, brother. For a guy that his size, his ability playing pro hockey in Sweden this year was ridiculous. He's 5'11", 160 pounds. One of the more physical forwards in that league. He looks to establish contact. He was one of the better players overall in the Allsvenskan this year on a team that ultimately wins and then gets promoted to the SHL for next season. Was right around 0.75, 0.8 points per game, scores goals, can score from distance, super skilled, very creative, and he plays at 1,000 miles an hour. The difference I've always had between him and Frondell, because they're always neck and neck in almost every ranking that you see, not mock drafts, but ranking. It's just his ability to play at pace is on a whole other level. Another guy that's just so good too at adjusting on the fly, someone that plays 1,000,000 miles an hour and thinks at 1,000,000 miles an hour, the brain matches the feet. And again, it's just fascinating watching him just level guys at 5'11", 160 pounds. So if I don't think Dubas cares about the size part. So a guy with the nonstop motor, super skilled, dual threat, and he gives you value up and down the ice. He's just a solid forward all around. He's very fun. So I love Victor Eklund. Another one of my favorites in this draft. I think it just makes a ton of sense for them. So there you go.
God, I hope that comes to fruition. I'll be so happy. All right. Who's the other guy that I'm going to have to hate for maybe not the next decade because it's pick number 12?
Oh, I think you're going to hate him.
Who's going to the Rangers?
It just feels like the most Rangers pick of all time. Kashan Aitchison. I don't think I actually put him on that list that I sent you. I can't remember.
You did not.
He is so last year we talked about a guy like Stian Solberg who went to Anaheim pretty early. A big, just ultra physical prick to play against. He is 6 foot, I don't know, 6'3", 6'4", flies up and down the ice, can get involved offensively. But my God, he hits everything that moves. He'll fight anybody. It feels like a very Rangers demon to pick. Again, he's a solid player. I have a lot. I think he's just like, no matter where he ends up, he's going to be an NHLer. Like, he is going to be someone that GMs will fall in love with. I wouldn't be surprised. The Bruins at 7 are probably like, he's big, he's mean, and he's physical, and he shoots right. And plays. We love that. But it just feels like such a fucking Rangers pick. Like, you've already got guys like Rempe there, Will Cooley there, Brandon Othman there, Brett Berard there. Fucking like the picks that they've made in the past. It feels like a Rangers pick. But he's I don't know why I said right-handed, by the way. He's a left shot. But he's big, flies up and down the ice, super physical, and he's a prick. So I imagine that might be a spot for him.
Yeah, if I wasn't scrambling to put these together, I for sure would have like stopped him and like, why didn't you list Aitchison anywhere? Because I know he's another guy that's been talked about being a potential Pittsburgh guy, but yeah, that wouldn't be awesome. I'm not thrilled about that. What does Steve Yzerman do with pick number 13, given that really the only thing that we're confident Steve Yzerman can do at this point is draft? And I guess not what does he do, what should he do?
I mean, at this point, I feel like Carter Bear would be a solid pick for them. He gives them that like super competitive, super athletic, just like all out beast to play against. His tape also was very fun this year before he got hurt too. I think they don't have like we look at their last few drafts, like they picked up like Marco Kasper, Nate Danielson, who are like they project to be like decent centers, but Carter Bear gives you like some added upside too. So I think I land on Carter Bear here. I love the kid. It just sucked that he had like a fucking Achilles injury this year, but I think given the competitiveness, the way he plays, I think Carter Bear is probably a solid choice for a guy like Stevie Y here. And he's got more upside than like their past few picks too, where it's like, listen, I love Bronzek Nygaard last year. I think he's got some upside for sure, but it was like the most Detroit pick of all time at 15. So Carter Bear gives you that added upside too, though.
Joe, you need to be more active in the non-private chat. You're making great comments here. No more Swedes. Trades the pick.
Yeah.
All right, we're on to 14, nearing the end. Columbus Blue Jackets, which fucking awesome for them that they end at 14. Like, we all wanted to see Dean Evison coaching in the playoffs. The team deserved it. It was so close. Who do they grab at 14?
A couple picks, middle of the first round. Wouldn't be. I mean, feels like a defenseman might be the move for them here. And Jackson Smith, I've not picked him soon enough, so I'll go Jackson Smith again. I think there's so much room for a player like Jackson Smith. Like at his size, how well he skates. There is some offensive ability that hasn't really fully tapped into before this year, but like we know it is there. I think his ceiling might be 2-3, but like to me, I still think just how well he moves. I think his like floor really is a solid 4 D-man. Like defensively too, he's very advanced as far as defensive habits, reading the game. Like he's just such a solid player. I love Jackson Smith. He's in my top 10 personally. But I feel like he's just a real nice piece to add to that impressive like decor they've assembled in Columbus. So plus Tri-City, their jerseys kind of look like Columbus's. So there you go.
What a great reason. Like the bad jerseys in Columbus, by the way. Do you know pick Brady Martin? All right. 15. GM, that's right. I don't care what anyone else says. GM of the Vancouver Canucks, Jim Rutherford. Who is he claiming at 15?
Braden Coots, Seattle Thunderbirds, another center. I think Coots has a ton of upside. I don't actually I should have checked on his like stats at the end of the year, but like super, super smart, super competitive. He's got some legit skill, like score goals. I think he's got a really solid two-way game. So I think Coots might be the pick here. I'd imagine just given how things have gone in Vancouver, this gives them another center that projects absolutely as a center in the NHL that like feels like a pretty sure thing. And again, how smart he plays could be a top 6 guy in the future. So I think Braden Coots might be the pick here for them. I could see him also going pretty early. But like I don't know how often people bring up his name or like how often people have heard his name as far as like top end of the draft. But he is a very, very popular player, plays a very like just projectable game. So I feel like he might go earlier than this, to be honest with you.
And look at that. Jersey kind of looks like Vancouver.
Yeah.
Trend. All right. Well, last one here. It's definitely not a Boston Bruins triple up, but we are going to cover both picks back-to-back 16 and 17 for the Montreal Canadiens because that does, to an extent, impact who you pick, right? The fact that you got 2 back-to-back, like you feel more comfortable taking a swing on one, maybe?
What'd you say?
Tell me.
I just zoned out for a second. I was reading something.
Montreal Canadiens, 16 and 17. I want both picks. One at a time. Give me 16. Talk it through.
I think Justin Carbonell might be an option here, even though they've got a ton of forwards. He's like fast, super strong, ridiculous shot. Another guy that plays super high energy, super high pace.
Do you think Montreal would ever draft or like have a guy in their organization with that name?
That's a good point. Actually, that's why they're going to take him.
Jerseys fly.
Yeah, let's say Justin Carbonell here. And then just given how they've drafted recently, I wonder about Cameron Reed, left shot D-man. Decently projectable game. He's added some legit offense this year, but skates really well, defends well, pretty reliable all-around player. So fits their profile of player they drafted previously and pretty safe as far as like. I think he adds them. I think he adds something that just fits for them. So Cameron Reed and Justin Carbonell.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll give you a minute then. Like that rounds out the, I guess, top 17, but going for 16. Anyone that you didn't include that you like feel bad about or want to like say, I'm sorry?
Probably. Well, another one of my favorites is Benjamin Kindle, Calgary. I really like him a lot. Another guy that can potentially be a center. He can play wing. His goal scoring, he's always had a ridiculous shot that he just never, before this season, he like just never really used. And all of a sudden he decided to like just let it fly this year. I think he like doubled up his like shot attempts this year compared to last year, and it paid off. I mean, right before he got hurt too, he put up right around 100 points. Like actually I should have also checked his like season-ending stat total, but on a really solid team, was one of their drivers on the offensive side. And again, projectable 2-way game. Up until like he was 16, he was pretty much a winger, but he's played a lot of center this year too, so flexibility. But I love Benjamin Kindle. He's another one of my favorites in this draft, so super intriguing. I could see him going like anywhere from like if you told me he went 12th, I'd be like, I like him. I love that pick. And if you told me like he ended up like 25th, 26th, I'd be like, doesn't shock me that he's passed on him. It's one of God. So, I just know I'm gonna love their draft. I'm just gonna make me throw up
every time.